Okay, I'm going to go through some of the features of the driver's side of the Travato 59G. Of course, we've got mirrors right here. You have dual control of the upper and lower mirrors independently inside the cab. You can also control the mirrors to fold in when you're in tight spaces in parking lots. It has 16-inch aluminum wheels and pretty decent tires. The stainless steel trim panels are standard on the basic model this year, and right beside that you have, of course, got your gas tank for your unleaded gas right there, and beside that we've got our freshwater tank fill and our city connection. Beside that we got the 30 amp service for 120 volts, and it has this groovy little blue light to let you know that you are connected. On top of that, we've got our cable input for park cable. Beside that, we've got the truma exhaust. That's for your truma hot water and truma hot air combo unit inside the cab, which we'll go over when we go inside. Underneath here, we got our LP tank connection for filling our LP tank, and then a switch to be able to shut the LP tank off. Beside that, we've got our freshwater drains. So you've got 3 different drain valves all together there when you need to put it in storage, or you're trying to clean up the system and get all the fresh water out. Beside that, we've got our chassis exhaust. It's got this huge chromed cover on top of it, which is new for 2016. I didn't see that on the 15s. Beside that, or up above that, we've got our vent for the fridge and our access for the refrigerator. This panel just comes off here, and you can see inside you got good access for maintenance and repair of your refrigerator. Above that, we've got the vent for the refrigerator, and it comes off similarly. Beside that, we've got our sewer hose connection. Now, I do have a problem with the sewer hose compartment, I should say. It's got the sewer hose connection, which is your standard connection, but on the other end, it just has a cut-off end, which I don't see what help that's going to be, because that's not going to connect to when I go to an RV park and I want to connect to the sewer there, or if I want to go to a dump station. I don't want to just stick that in the hole or something like that. So I'm going to have to figure out some sort of solution to connect that. See, for some reason or other, they didn't make this hole big enough so that you could put a double-ended one in there. I'm not sure what the purpose of that is. You think they would have just made it big enough so you can put a normal double-ended connection in there and keep your sewer hose nice and tight and away. So we'll have to figure that out later. Okay, going down the truck, again, we've got our generator exhaust here. It's got just another one of these little groovy chrome caps on it. Beside that, we've got our standard sewer hose connection, so we connect our sewer hose here. We got our black lever over here, which you pull this and it pulls the slide valve with the black tank, which is right behind here. Beside that, we've got the gray tank. Now the gray tank, instead of pulling the slide valve right here, it actually pulls a cable which goes up the cab over here, which is because the gray tank's somewhere in the middle of the cab, and you pull that and it pulls the slide valve. But to get the gray water out of the tank, you actually use an auxiliary pump, which I'll show you in a second, that's at the back of the truck here. And you pull that and it pumps the water from the gray tank over to your sewer connection here. So, the last thing I want to show you on this side is the windows. So he's got these decent windows. He's got two decent windows on this side, and they both open, and they both have screen windows on them, so that's pretty cool. The only other difference that I want to show you here is that, it's got these graphics on the side, and it has this Travato badge, which is this nice, shiny, fancy Travato badge, which I don't think was on the early 2015s anyway. But anyway, so that's the driver's side. We're going to go over to the passenger side now and go over the features on the passenger side. Okay, we're over on the passenger side of the Travato now. We're just going to go over some of the features over here. First of all, let's start off with the external speakers. They're up here near the top of the cab, and we've got an LED light in between that, which doesn't put out a lot of light, but it's actually pretty cool. Again, we have the Travato badge on here, and then a little bit different graphic scheme on this side because there's no rear window, but it's got this groovy little graphic right here, which is in the standard base model Travato. You get some fancier stuff when you get the upgraded paint package, but I actually like this package with just the unpainted bumpers and fenders and the fancy graphic here. So anyways, let's go to the features. We've got 2 external plugs, which I believe are on the GFI circuit. And beside that, we've got our cable output. So if you want to tailgate, watch a football game out here, you can hook up your TV out here. And you can use this port, which is just basically a 12-volt cigarette plug port, to power a 12-volt device out here. Beside that, we got our black tank flush. Now this is new for the mid-season 2016s. The early 2016s didn't have this. Basically, just pop a hose on here, put some water in there, and it just sprays out and cleans your black tank while you're flushing, which is, I think, an awesome feature. Worth getting the late model 2016s just for that. And going down, it's got the track, of course, that the door slides on. It's actually pretty well concealed. It doesn't stick out. It's not too ugly. Of course, you got your power step here, which I'll show you in a second. These are latches for the awning. When I go over the awning, I'll show you. Basically, there's a latch up here and a latch back there, and how that opens. So let's open the door, and we'll go over the features there. The door slides really easy, and it locks in place really well too. So first of all, we'll go back over the sliding step. So there's the controls down here that control the step. So if you want it in, you just push this, hold that in, and the step goes in. Whoop. And go out, the step goes back out again. Now, if you probably drive away with the step out, I understand that the step will automatically retract, so you don't take out some bicyclists while you're driving down the road. Now, the other, I'm on these switches, I might as well cover the switches now. Beside that, we have our chassis battery disconnect, so you can hit this switch and turn off your chassis batteries to save them if you're going to store the unit for a long period of time. Don't want to drain down your coach batteries, so it shuts off your coach batteries. Above that, we've got our power outlets, GFI power outlet here. We have our awning in and out switch, and we have our awning light switch. And then these are just switches for, this is the exterior switch that I showed you between the speakers. This one is the switch that goes right here, boom, boom. And then this last switch turns on the LED switch. Actually comes in 2 different strengths. So you got low, off, and boom, and high. So that's that switch right there. Okay, so I just want to go over that right there. The other thing you see on the passenger side is this big huge thing that right in the entrance of the door, and you're like, what's that doing there? Well, that's the fresh water tank. So you can actually push this back and actually show you the freshwater tank right here. So you can actually fill this directly in with fresh water. And the reason it slides right there, and I'll show you later on, is that that's another bed that just opens up right there. The one other cool feature here on the passenger side is this sliding screen. Now this is an awesome sliding screen, but you have to be very careful about how you open and close it. It's got like this rib, it keeps it nice and firm. It's actually really cool. And it works on a track on the bottom and the top. One problem is if you do not open it correctly, if you do not pull right here in the middle of the screen, and you don't make sure you don't pull it outward or inward, you got to push it directly back. Actually, it's good to have some pressure against the coach while you're opening and sliding it. If you do not do that, this will pop off, and I've already done it several times. My wife did it right after we bought it, and I got all mad at her. But I let her off. Okay. So anyways, you just slide this back, and there we got your screen. Okay, so that is the passenger side. The only last thing I have to show you is the awning. Okay, now let's go over the awning. So we have our awning controls here, in and out. Now with this awning, the standard awning, that when you don't have the roof racks and the kayak racks and all that kind of good stuff, it just has the standard awning, which has the light built in. When you get the awning, what has the Fiamma awning, it does not have a light in it, so you won't see that switch there. But with the standard awning, just hit this button right here. You can do this with the doors open. With the Fiamma awning, you have to have the doors closed, from what I understand. So you just hit the button here, and that will begin to extend our awning. And you just keep holding the button and let it control over here. Now there's another awning switch, which I believe uses the, instead of using the coach battery, this one uses the coach battery. I believe there's another awning switch right here, which I believe uses the chassis battery, but you know, I could be wrong about that. I'm like, why else would they have another switch over here? In case your coach batteries are dead or whatever. So anyways, so there's two different switches to extend the awning. Now, once you've got the awning extended, you have to use these little poles that you can either stick into the ground, or you can stick them up against the side of the truck itself. So the first thing you need to do is pull these little orange tabs right here, and this unlocks the slider. And then you're going to slide this back, and that extends down the arm. Okay, so you can either take this arm, and what you do here is you stick this right here in the little connection right here, slide that little thing up there, and that goes in there like that. So that actually goes as a support for this, and you just push this up and you slide it wherever you want to have it, or you want to extend it, and then you just push your little orange, push your little orange thing there, closed. Okay. So you do the same thing to the other side. First of all, we go over here, we unclick our little orange doohickey, go back here, slide that in, and we put that in the slot. It's hard to do with one hand. Slide that in. It's actually easier than I thought. And that slides in there like that, and it locks. And again, we've got our little orange connector here. We slide it to the height that we want, and then click that shut. And that's it. That's where our awning is, ready to go. And that's pretty cool. Now, the other thing you could do, instead of hooking it up against the truck, you slide, to take it out, you just slide this out right here. And then you just pull on it, and it hooks it out like that. Now, the other thing you can do is just hook it up on the ground and go like that, so that you can actually, I guess use a couple of stakes and actually stake that in there, and then connect it like that, and it makes the awning nice and high and supports it well on windy days and stuff like that. So anyways, that's the awning. So the next thing we're going to do is go over inside the cabin. Okay, one thing I forgot to show with the awning is this groovy little light. So you got the light switch right here, and it turns on these little LED strip along here, which is actually pretty cool. Again, you don't get the LED light when you have the roof racks and all that kind of stuff that comes from the factory, because that Fiamma awning that comes with that doesn't have it. So anyway, that's the little light. Okay, I almost forgot about the back of the truck before we go in the inside. So the back of the truck, you can see up here, you got this little pod up here with the light, and that's got the camera in there. I don't know if you can see that camera pretty good, but the camera right there, your rear facing camera, so when you're backing up, you can see all the way from the hitch all the way back. So I haven't used it backing up to my boat yet, but I'm going to try that. So I'm probably going to pull my boat with this, and I have a small, actually you can see my boat over here. It's a little boat, little 18-foot Aquasport. It's light, it's probably about 3,000 pounds with the trailer and all that kind of good stuff. And this can pull 3,500 pounds with a 500-pound tongue weight. So it's actually a pretty good match for me. If you need to pull more than that, then you probably have to get into a Sprinter, but with rear-wheel drive and all that kind of good stuff. But anyway, so here's the back of the truck. They actually have these pretty cool-looking black windows, which is standard on all the trucks. So it's pretty groovy. Again, you got more of that stainless steel trim panel stuff, and these awesome, really strong hinges on the ProMaster chassis. I mean, I could see you could mount something on these doors, like they have the ladder and the bike rack and all that kind of stuff you can get directly from the factory. So I'm probably maybe someday put a ladder on there when I put solar panels and all that kind of good stuff. So the doors open pretty good, and they've got these stops right here so you can't possibly hit. I guess if you really slammed it hard, I guess you could possibly hit it, but the hinges keep you from hitting the side of the truck. Nice hinges there. The one thing in the back here that I didn't see was this little thing right here. You can see I haven't done any modifications to this truck yet, except for this, because I did not want to bang up my doors. And the thing that I was worried about is if I had this door shut and wasn't really thinking, and kind of, woke up in the morning and I went to go shut the door like this instead, it was like kabam, then you get a nice big dent and chips, paint, and all that kind of good stuff on your truck. So I stuck these two little rubber things. I'm not sure if that's what I'm going to stay with, but anyway, that's really the only modification I've done with this truck so far. I'm planning on doing all kinds of mods, but that's one I figured I needed to do immediately because I could see me doing something stupid like that. So anyways, so you got your hinges, nice door, well controlled. Let's flop this open again, slide that back so we get a nice big view of the back of the truck. So you can see it opens up really nice and wide. I have the optional screen. I think all of them pretty much come with the optional screen. Here are the snaps that the screen snaps onto. They go all the way around the edge here, and then on the inside, on this side right here, you can see the snaps here. You put your screen on there, and they got like a little zipper on it and stuff like that, so you can put your screen in. As you can see, the reason I chose the G versus the K, I guess it's called, is because you got this huge area right in here now. I do a lot of kite surfing, a lot of mountain biking, a lot of road cycling, and I plan on taking the road and doing all this kind of stuff. So you get this awesome storage area where you're just cruising to throw all your gear. So you can put like maybe some tubs of some stuff back here in your bikes. For the K, man, there's a freaking shower right here. So bringing stuff in and out of the truck, it really didn't make sense to me. I guess that K really appeals to like maybe older people that aren't going to be doing, I don't know, throwing a lot of junk in inside their truck. No, against older people. I'm actually old too. So anyways, so you got this fold down bed scene right here, which I'll fold down the bed in a second. Other features here, we got this light right here, and the light is controlled, kaboom, right there. And you got this nice little light, which doesn't really show much right now, but hey, it's actually pretty bright. Beside that, here's your drain. Now this is our drain pump for controlling the gray water to come out the sewer connection. So you hit this little, and that pumps the gray water from the gray tank out to the sewer connection. And this is the water pump. So if you want to turn on your water pump for putting, I'm not going to turn it on because it pressurizes this little valve right here. So you want to put water out here and you want to turn the water pump, you don't have to go inside the cab, turn the water pump on, that way you can just take your little connection right here, this snaps in here like that, and then you got your fancy dancy little hose, which actually, you know, all this comes with the truck, so it's actually pretty cool. It's for hosing things off. I guess it's, you know, if you get do some drippage while you're doing your pump out and stuff like that. It's good for good cleanup and stuff. Above that, you've got a 12-volt connection, which I'll show you why you need that in a second. And then, of course, 120 volts, and that's it for that stuff. So I think the reason they put this back here, and I'll just go over this real quick. One of the things the truck comes with, like I said, this thing's brand new. I mean, I really just drove this home from the dealership. It comes with this little kit right here. Now, what this little kit is like a flat tire repair kit. It's because the truck doesn't come with a spare tire. So instead of a spare tire, they send you this groovy little thing right here, which, let me see if I can get this covered here. Okay. So basically what it is, it's a pump and a fix-a-flat all built into one. So comes with little instructions right there. So basically this little tank right here has got the fix-a-flat stuff in it, and you can switch back and forth between pumping up with air and pumping the fix-a-flat stuff into the tire. So I suppose what you do is you get a flat, you pump in your fix-a-flat stuff, then you flick it over to air, you pump the tire up. And the reason you need the 12-volt plug back here is because this works on a 12-volt plug. So you plug your 12-volt plug back in here, and that can get your two rear tires. I suppose you use the plug in the cab, 12-volt plug, cigarette plug in the cab, to power the front tires, because there's no way those cables are going to be long enough to make it in front. So that's what comes with the truck in lieu of a real spare tire. There's not enough space to keep a spare tire, because underneath the truck, and hopefully I'll get a chance to give you a little video view underneath the truck, there's a lot of stuff down there, you know, so there's no space for tires. This is the jack, which I haven't opened up yet. Maybe I'll open it up here and show you the jack. Okay, so I cranked open the jack out of its little container here. Again, this is just our little kit for getting you back in the room. You have a flat, but if you want to actually take off the wheel or jack up the truck, it comes with the jack. So basically it's got your jack here, it's got your little arm here you attach on here that cranks your jack up. You put your little arm in here, whoops, like this probably, goes in there, and you crank your jack up. This is one of those little things that screws onto the chassis somewhere for tying it down for when you are going to get your vehicle towed on like a flatbed or something like that. I believe that's what it's for. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on that. This, I've looked up and I cannot figure out what this is for. So, if anybody can tell me what that's for, I don't know. Yeah, I looked through the manuals and I couldn't find it. So, anyway, so that's the jack. Okay, forgive the airplane sounds in the background. We're close to an airport here. Okay, so I'm going to show you the back of the truck here. And if I sound like I'm in a hurry, because all my neighbors are about to start up their tractors and do all their crazy stuff on the weekend, so which is very annoying in the background. So, anyways, just pop this little latch right here, and this folds down the bed. This is the difference again between the 2016 and the early 2016s and 15s is that they got this Froley bed system here, which is like bed springs, I guess, and it's actually pretty cool. It actually makes it quite a bit more comfortable. Maybe it takes up some of this usability if you wanted to use this for something else other than a bed. You want to use it for like a table or something like that. It might kind of change things a little bit, but you know, for a bed, it actually makes it really comfortable. So, just gives you that much more like cushioning, you know. So, as you can see with the bed down, still got all this room underneath. If you're shopping for 2016s, one of the things you'll notice that changed between the early 2015s and the late 2015s is they raised the bed, so they cranked it up so that you got these extra drawers here. And so it's quite a bit higher, so the space under here is nice and big. But what they did was they actually moved this. It was probably like here, and they moved it out to like here. So you get a little bit less space this way, but with it being taller, I'll show you the drawers in a minute, but you get this a set of drawers right here. Makes the bed taller. You get lots of room under here, so definitely much better design. So if that's important to you, make sure you pick either a late 2015 or a 2016. Just some of the things that I came across when I was doing this. So the other thing is that this, the 2014s and early 2015s had a much thinner mattress. I mean, this has got, I don't know, what's that, 8 or 9 inches. Nice thick mattress on top of those bed springs, and this folds right here. So to fold this back up again, you got to slide it back like that, and then you can flip up the bed. So anyway, so that's a view from the back of the truck. I probably spent way too much time on that, but anyway, so that's the back of the truck. It's pretty cool. We'll go to, I think, the roof next. Okay, now we're on top of the roof here. I'm standing on my ladder here, precariously up above my house here. Okay, so this is the roof. Got a bunch of leaves and stuff on it. But let's start with the front right there. We got our antenna, which you can rotate. I'll show you that in the inside. But that's up there at the front. It actually takes up a surprising amount of room for a roof antenna. One of the things I want to do is put solar panels up here, so you know, it kind of changes where you can put some stuff. So just behind the that antenna, you got this other antenna, which is for the inside radio, I believe. And then I'm going to probably put a solar panel right across here somewhere, okay? And then just in front of the rooftop ventilator. So you know, obviously that flips up, and there's got a little powered fan in there. I'll show you from the inside. And so I can put a solar panel in between that, and then I'll put a solar panel back behind that, between that and the air conditioner. You know, you got your gray tank vent over here. You got your shower vent, which is, you know, you pop that up when you're in the shower. It's got a little power fan to vent out all that steamy water while you're in the shower. And then, of course, you've got your black vent back here. Air conditioner is close, really close to the back of the cab, which I think in the case is a little bit farther forward. But not really a lot of room back on these sides right here to put stuff like solar panels and stuff. But, you know, you could maybe put something else back there. So nice big strong roof. The only other thing I want to show you is that with this design, the awning has a connection to these little tabs. I'll show you the tabs over here. So this is what these little tabs look like. It's something that's built into the Ram ProMaster, and they use these little tabs to put roof racks and attachments and stuff on. There's a couple of companies out there that make roof racks that attach to these. Now I wanted to put my own roof racks. I didn't like that roof rack that you can buy with the truck. It's like, I don't know, $2,500 or something like that. So I'm going to figure out a way to put roof racks across the top here, but on this side they're taking up the tabs. So they've made these little adapters that attach onto those tabs. You can kind of see the tab underneath there where it's attached. And so I'm going to probably put the roof rack onto this frame that they've got right there and then stretch it across to the opposite tab. And I'm probably going to do that to that one, and maybe the ones maybe way up front there, like in front of the radio antenna. At least it'll give me some kind of rack system. So I want to put like a cargo carrier or something. I might even attach my solar panels right to some sort of rack, some sort of temporary hookup or something like that. So anyway, so that's the roof. You know, pretty good, nice and strong. I've stepped around on it and stuff like that. You don't want to make a habit of jumping around on it because it's not that strong. But it's ribbed, so it's support. You know, it's reinforced. And of course the air conditioner. I will show you the air conditioner from the inside. But you know, they use this thick black gooey stuff to seal it all out really good. It looks like they've done a good job of sealing all the different parts that are access into the cab from leaking and stuff like that. That's one thing I liked about these Class Bs is you don't have like rubber or vinyl or fiberglass or any of that crap. It's actually steel. So that's the top. Okay, one thing I forgot to show you from the back, which is just a lot easier to show you back here, are these magnetized on blackout covers. I don't know if you call them blackout covers, but they're covers to keep the light out. I'm not sure how much light they keep out, like direct sunlight, but basically they just snap on there. So you just pull them off like that. When you want to put them on, you just whoop, and just snap them up, and they actually go up really easily, and they work actually pretty awesome, which is, having a steel truck, I mean, you can take care of all the, have all these magnets, which is pretty cool. So most of the windows in the truck come with these covers to block everything out, and they just attach with magnets. This window, that window right there has the magnets. Back windows. Now the front windows, I'll show you from the inside, but they use a different system that's a combination of magnets and kind of just stuffing in the windows. But I just wanted to show you that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, other thing I forgot to show you with these lights. So if you're in bed, you get these little lights right here, which are pretty good. Okay, anyway, so that's what I forgot to do from the back. See.